are watching Loud TV!
Happy to have you in France. Welcome in France. Bienvenue en France.
Merci beaucoup.
It's been a long time. I think you are upon this tour. You made quite everything on this tour. Did you? Was it hard to schedule everything?
Yeah, it was a lot of work, and now we're back on the road again. We have been playing mostly festivals, you know, and we were away a little bit since Utopia in 2013, just playing festivals. Now we have more releases planned, and it's the first tour in a long time actually for GOTHMINISTER, a headliner tour. So we started in Netherlands 2 days ago. Yesterday was Essen, Germany, and now we're here, Paris, France, just by the Moulin Rouge. I've been here before. Remember that. We played the La Locomotive, the legendary venue, a couple of times, and now back here is great.
Is it hard, yeah, to schedule a European tour like this? And why did you? You're not touring so much, I would say. So is it because of you don't want, or because you are quite busy by your business too?
Several reasons. We have been playing and focusing a lot on Germany, basically the last 10 years. And I also have work in the film and TV industry, so it's a lot to do there to clean up the mess in Norway. So fighting Netflix, HBO and all the streaming platforms, so my job takes a lot of time. But now it's time to focus a little bit on GOTHMINISTER again, and I think it's important to get out and play a lot live. It's that's the way to do it.
And because you are quite, I think you understood very soon that the music live, you know, it's not only music, but it's a real show, you know, with monsters, with your ladder, or something like this, you know.
Yeah, we were criticized yesterday in Germany because we didn't have enough monsters, and of course it's a little bit. We have a lot, but it's a little bit limited sometimes, you know, because of the size of the venues. We had some huge stuff, so. But we have a lot entertaining people. I think it's important to try to do something differently. I actually had to skip some effects. I was supposed to be inside, you know, this see-through balloon with the laser gloves, but it took too much time to blow it up. So to avoid Spinal Tap, we skipped it. We try anything, you know, to do something new.
But there are still monsters on stage, right?
Still monsters, and we have on some shows I shoot CO2 towards the monster. We have laser gloves, we have burning books, we have the zombies, werewolves, yeah, the whole lot. And the show is of course focused around now the story of Pandemonium. We released the Pandemonium album last year. It's about this, you know, evil King GOTHMINISTER, and Pandemonium 2, The Battle of the Underworld, will be released next year. And it's the continuation of the story of the evil king. So in the end, we're going to have 7 or 8 music videos to form like a short movie. And we're going to have viewings, at least in Norway, on cinemas. For this concept. What is strange now maybe for people is that the story is coming in a random order. So later they will know which is the first video, which is the last, and then they can see everything in the right order, and then it makes more sense.
Is it like a trilogy or?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided, but at least there would be 2 albums, Pandemonium 1 and Pandemonium 2. And you will also notice the show is has a lot of is thematic about this, you know, building up the story.
Okay. Tell us your your link with monsters. You, on every album, even if it's the last Pandemonium is like a concept album, but tell us your personal stories with monsters. Is it because I was wondering if it was because of your maybe nightmares that you did when you were a kid, or?
Well, with monsters, I think my grandmother was to blame, because I spent a lot of time with my grandparents when I was a little kid. And there was a show, you know, they had cable TV in the 80s. And there was a show called Deadly Ernest Horror Show on Sky Channel. So every Friday night they had a horror movie. It was kind of me and my grandmother sitting up late at Friday night watching horror movies. This is kind of how it started. Of course, a lot of monsters in these movies. So, yeah. I had a friend also who was very into horror movies and metal. And this friend I met at the tennis court. So we played tennis and then we listened to metal and started playing a little bit of music, actually starting with the synthesizers. And it was fascinating also to watch, you know, classic movies like John Carpenter's Halloween and also Evil Dead and Prince of Darkness. So these movies was kind of the favorites of my friend and became my favorites as well. Especially John Carpenter, he also made the music to the movies very often himself on the synthesizer. So this is kind of combination, I think, that I grew up with and has been an inspiration for GOTHMINISTER. So then we had the combination of horror movies in the childhood and also, of course, comic books was a big part of it, and then metal music. So I combined all that. For comic books, Batman was my favorite, of course, because I mean, nobody can believe that there's a Superman, but Batman is more believable, right? Because he's more like a human being. But he has some clever, you know, equipment.
What about on this tour? There are some guests, right? Tonight, am I still here?
No, unfortunately, Emma had to cancel because of COVID tonight. And also had several messages from fans saying, sorry, I can't come because I'm ill with COVID. I think I now got 10 messages from different fans who couldn't come, like in Netherlands, Germany and France. So now there is still COVID out there, but I think it's not, of course, as dangerous as the first wave. Was horrible. So one of our makeup designers, she got her lung capacity reduced by 30% because she was ill the first wave. So now I think it's more like a cold, isn't it? So, but still you get ill, so we have to be careful and clean hands. And we had this order not mingle too much with the audience from the tour manager.
How do you know her? It's because she plays in a Norwegian band?
No, our makeup designer, she's. I met her through another makeup designer, but all these are members in the union where I work. Since I also work in the Norwegian Filmmakers Union, my day job, then I have a lot of contacts, you know, from the film industry. So they are specializing in, you know, special effects makeup and stuff like that. So if you maybe remember Utopia, where we had this zombie, quite aggressive zombie style, then these makeup designers were heavily involved.
And who are the other guests on the tour? I think there are some male guests.
Yeah, we have Chris Milden from NFD in the UK. He's the guitar player in the band of Bob. Bob I met on the tour together with Mortiz in 2006. So what happened is that our equipment broke down, some essential equipment, on the first show in the UK, and Bob was very kind to come all the way from London to Bristol by train to bring some extra equipment for us. And then he stayed on the Nightliner bus for a few days, so I've been constantly in touch with Bob, and then we found out that his guitar player wanted to play, because he's also a fan of GOTHMINISTER, and he loves songs like Demons and Liar and stuff, so he will play on some of the songs. That's great. Another guest is Ray Noir. He's an old friend of mine, doing some electro music and based in London, but he used to live in Oslo, and we had a lot of parties together, and we also posted a picture together where we met Mike Patton from Faith No More. And Ray is a devil to chase celebrities, so he finds them everywhere. So we're at a festival and said, Bjorn, we're going to meet Mike Patton. I said, well, what? Yeah, and then he found him, and it was very weird, because that was the night Michael Jackson died. So the whole festival, we were at the festival, seeing some bands, and when the band stopped playing, there were DJs in tents, big festival in Norway. Suddenly you could hear Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson. You got goosebumps because everyone started to play Michael Jackson, and somebody said, hey, Michael Jackson's dead. We went to this artist hotel where we lived, and he, of course, chased down Faith No More, and it was great to meet. We were big fans of Faith No More, but it was very weird that the first thing, the drummer Mike Borden said, hey man, did you hear that Michael Jackson died? And we were talking about Michael Jackson with Faith No More. Everyone was in shock. So that was, we have lots of stories together. So he's singing a couple of songs in London. Yeah, so.
That's it.
That's it. Just, yeah, having fun with some friends, basically. Of course, Bob also was on that legendary tour when we played with Mortiz in 2006 with his support band. And they are also on the tour, Dead Film Star, along with King Satan and Psycholis. But Dead Film Star has it's a horrible story, but it's also funny, because back in 2006 they were on the tour driving behind our Nightliner. So they had their own car. And it was a warm summer day. We were going back to London to play there, and there was a lot of traffic. And somehow the bus driver mentioned that we need to empty the toilet from the Nightliner. And by a huge mistake, people asked, how do you empty the toilet? You just pull that handle. And somebody thought he meant now, so somebody pulled that handle, and the bus driver was screaming, oh no, no! And meanwhile, in the car of the support band, they all, of course, had the air conditioner on full, because it was really, really hot. And the girl in the support band, they saw, this wave of like flushing and just lots of liquid coming from the Nightliner bus, and started to get into the air conditioner. And the girl said, "Oh no, I know what that is." And it was horrible. So they were stuck in this heat, and the air conditioner just distributed all those fluids and the horrible things from the toilet, from the Nightliner. So the air conditioner just distributed everything that came from the toilet of the Nightliner, and the support band, they, of course, everyone puked. Unfortunately, at the same time, they were stuck in traffic, and the drummer had to take a shit. So meanwhile, they were experiencing this horrible thing. I heard that the drummer went into the back seat of the car, and he had to take a shit in a brown bag. And meanwhile, we were arriving at the venue, and they came very late, and they came out of the car, and they were all green in the face and said, what happened to you guys? And they told the story, and they had to take their car into the car wash 7 or 8 times, but they couldn't get rid of the smell. So, and of course, that album of Mortiz was Smell of Rain, but maybe it should be Smell of Shit, I don't know. At least that was a horrible story. And I talked to Gary now, because they're supporting us in the UK. As, will you accept that I tell this story to the fans? Said, yeah, just go. He was very supportive about that. So we got a lot of likes on social media when this story came out, because yeah, it was unheard before, but it was typical tour story.
What about? I think you are going to play in the US this year, next year, right?
Yes, yes. Festival. It's the guys from Vampire Freaks organizing a great festival. We know them from our US tour in 2007, a long time ago, but they organized one of the shows on our 2 weeks US tour back then. It was great. It was in New York. They built up a stage and really professional guys. So it's a cool festival together with at least Stabbing Westward. I think some of the big electro acts also, and lots of cool bands. Das Ich is coming there, and it's going to be great.
So it's only a festival. Right?
It's a festival in the US, but we are looking for more shows actually. But they also, like Mera Luna, had their exclusivity clause. The reason why we only have one show in Germany on this tour. Also, the US festival has exclusivity clause, so we cannot play in New York or Philadelphia, which would be normal and pull a lot of people. So we have to look, maybe a couple of shows in Mexico. Maybe we're looking into it. So let's see what we can do next year. But we have had tons of requests from the US. You know, they're really hungry to see GOTHMINISTER again. It's been many years, so I think we're going to play more live next year with a new album, and hopefully see many of the old fans and a lot of new fans.
And to finish, how to build a set list with your career? It's mainly on the last album, or did you take like a best of your?
Oh, the set list for this tour is a good mix, old and new songs. Yeah, it's a kind of best of, but also including, of course, the new singles, new material. And then we also have a big surprise coming up in January, which is a secret. I cannot tell anything about it, but it will be some big news coming up for GOTHMINISTER. So we'll see. 5th of January, then something will happen.